Hey, 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 KDX. Welcome back to the King Kane Way TV. It's your boy King Kane, and I am here tonight, this evening, to give you guys my review over The Crew Dollars Season 1, Episode 3 and 4. These girls are truly girling. These girls have really gagged me. And we do have a lot to talk about. So please make sure you guys are liking the video, sharing the video, and leaving a comment. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you are subscribing and turning your notifications on. If you are already subscribed, become a member of the channel, as well as follow me on all of my social media in the description of this video. Okay, here up. Oh, it's a lot going on with the Crew Dallas girls. It's a lot going on. There's allegations. There's pillows being thrown. There's drinks being thrown. There's shade being thrown. And it's a lot. And it's a lot to do. It's a lot to talk about. And we are going to get into it. And we're going to start with episode 3. Okay, so episode 3 opens up with Six pretty much clearing the girls. He didn't invite y'all here for this. Leave my friend Whitney, with the baseball blouse. Leave him alone. Protection. Okay, Six is pretty much protecting Whitney from this gang up from Eric and Tonio. Apparently Tonio was being messy. Okay, that's pretty much what it was. The girls are shading each other's looks. Whitney said that Antonio had on a tight shirt, and Antonio said that Whitney had on a baseball blouse, and it was unbuttoned. And I was gagging because Tonio's green blazer top was pretty much tight. And Whitney did have on a baseball blouse. Hashtag baseball blouse gate. Whitney and Six, they talk outside. Tonio and Eric, they come outside with Kendu. And they pretty much, the situation's over, it's dead. Tonio's still being funny and, throwing his little fun shade and doing what Tonio does. Kendu invites the girls to his fashion show that he's having in Austin, Texas. Whitney then apologizes to Eric about his comments. Like, I wasn't trying to fire you up. I wasn't coming for you. I was just going to want to have a conversation with you about I wanted to just have a conversation with you about not showing up to the situation that I was hosting. So I'm happy that Whitney and Eric were able to come to a common ground, because y'all need to be beefing. Like, Whitney is a total sweetheart. I feel like Whitney and probably Kendu would be the only ones who don't really get into any kerfuffles this season. I feel like they're the more level-headed girls. And just the girls who really aren't, beefed up, if you will. Tonio and Whitney are still carrying. I put in my notes, hush, I'm over it. Let's move on. Period. Next we see a Wooda hopping out the black truck, big butt in tow. He's meeting up with Whitney, and he's meeting up with Zell, and they're going to discuss the bowling event. He's actually meeting up with Whitney to discuss the bowling event. Eric and Tonio were pretty much double teaming Whitney, so he's pretty much filling Whitney in on this, that, and the third, filling Wooda in on this, that, and the third. And Wooda is pretty much like, oh, they were trying to double team you. Oh, now I'm gonna really be this A-double-S. Now I'm gonna really do this. And, oh, they was doing this. Oh my goodness. They discussed Six, etc. Really nothing major went on in this scene. Clearly Whitney wasn't trying to fight Eric. He just wanted to ask him a question. Why weren't you at my event? And Whitney, I feel like you have a point. However, when you told Tonio took it back to Eric to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't. Because honestly, I'm trying to figure out, like, when did Whitney tell Tonio that he was going to fire Eric up? Like, was this wasn't on the show? Like, this wasn't anywhere that I remember seeing. So I don't know. Maybe this was something that happened off camera. But I mean, it's just a little all over the place for the queen. Okay. Wooda said that there's no hope for him and Antonio. He ain't stunned Antonio. He don't like him, and it is what it is. And come to find out, I'm sorry, Wooda was meeting with Kendu in this scene. Okay. Wooda also tells Kendu about the DM gate and just, why he don't see it for Tonio. Allegedly Reese G DM'd him, some recordings and some this and some that of him and Antonio talking. And so what my question is to Wooda is, what did you do when you went through that bad breakup that has you? Is it the fact that Antonio betrayed you just by recording you, period? Or do you feel a certain type of way by the things you said that you were doing after the alleged breakup? Like, which one is it? Are you super annoyed with Antonio just for being messy, tied, and through? Or are you angry at what you actually said out of your mouth? Because you kept saying, Wooda kept saying it was some crazy stuff. Like, I kept saying some crazy stuff. Y'all know how Wooda talk with his ball cap on and round baseball, but it was some crazy stuff I was talking about. Some crazy stuff. Yes, Miss Wooda. Yes, Miss Wooda. Anyways, Wooda says that it has been a while since the recording was done and this, that, and the third, like back on like some Chasing Dallas shit. And I just feel like Wooda let it go if it's been that long. Okay. Wooda, and also if you ever need somebody to vent to, you need somebody to talk to these trifling no good dudes about, or this, that, and third, call the queen. I won't record you. I won't, spread it to the masses. I won't do that. Okay, so call the queen. The queen will be here for you. The queen will assess the situation, and the queen shall get it handled. Here. Kendu invites Buddha to the show, but apparently Buddha can't make it because I think he said he was going to LA or something, and the trip has been planned. Yada, yada, yada. Moving on, Antonio and Kenzel. I love that name, Kenzel. They have a date out there at Lake Louisville with the ducks, and it's like a picnic situation. There's Doritos, there's wine. And the girls are having a date. Okay. I think Antonio shot this scene earlier in the day before he went to the to the bowling event, because it's the exact same tight fitted jeans. It's the same exact tight fitted olive green blazer jacket. So it is giving hashtag continuity. Zell wants to get to know Tonio. He's feeling Tonio. Maybe it's the hips. Maybe it's the dreadlocks, but he's totally feeling Tonio in this moment. They've been talking, they've been texting every day, according to Tonio. And I think Zell is a sweetheart. He got the snacks, etc. They talk about him potentially moving to Dallas and how he's been looking for jobs and looking for places, and just pretty much trying to figure things out. He lives in Atlanta, but he flies to Dallas to film amongst these girls. Okay. Antonio is carrying in the confessional. He said he loved a big football player built masculine situation. And the girls ended up planning another date. So it was pretty much a vibe. It wasn't extra. It was very, normal and chill, and, do your thing, girl. Next, we see the girls are headed to Austin, and we see Eric saying something about domestic violence, and we see Zell says something about hashtag S assault. Now, I want to get into these allegations because it gave very much like, oh, I'm going to say this about you, then I'm going to say this about you. Oh, I'm going to say this about you, then I'm going to say this about you. And then I just want to go on record and say the footage that we saw of them down to the JR's bar being drunk when the alleged S assault situation happened, and then the domestic violence situation allegedly happened. Kenzel, you looked comfortable. It didn't seem like you were uncomfortable when Eric was in your space. It seemed like you were down for the cause. Now, I'm not one to tell nobody how to feel because the girls will feel how they feel. If Kenzel truly felt that he was assaulted, I hope that he will be able to stand in it because he apparently went through it in his childhood, which is very sad. And I hate that for the girls who go through that. And in the same breath, you have Eric saying, well, then you mushed me. And I'm just trying to figure out why you mushed me if we was vibing and getting to know each other and kicking. Now, Eric, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it personally. Like, y'all probably was just flirting and drunk and doing the most. But you just got to know who you can flirt and play with. And clearly, Kenzel is not one of those girls that you can flirt and play with because, according to Kenzel, he wasn't trying to get to know you like that. Now, I don't know. To me, it's giving very much Kenzel was talking to Big Booty Tonio and Big Booty. Zell, if you like them thick, Zell about like me. I love a nice, rotund, submissive bottom. You feel me? So I get you. I feel you. I understand it. And it's giving. I got caught up. They won't let me out. Oh, they won't let me out. Hey. So that's what it's giving me. The fact that you guys were in the back seat of Whitney's car, hooping and hollering, acting the fool while he trying to drive down 35 to Austin, was sending me. The girls had to pull over. Antonio was gagging like, oh, what? Y'all been talking? Huh? What? Ooh, what's going on? Yeah. And then I also feel like Zell, don't get around Antonio and try to act like, you weren't feeling the vibes with Eric. Don't get around Antonio and act like you weren't feeling the vibes with Eric, okay? And then another thing, Antonio keeps dissing, like on episode 4, we haven't got there yet, but Tonio keeps dissing and throwing shade at Eric, and Eric looks and is Eric ugly? Like, when has that ever been a thing? I think Eric is a nice, handsome, chocolate man with big arms and a big butt. Like, who cares? I don't know. It just seems like there's a whole lot of unnecessary shade being thrown, and it looks like it's over Kenzel, and I am literally gagging. And I can't wait to see what's to come. Apparently, Tonio feels like that's my man, and he don't want you, Eric, and it is what it is. They arrive to Austin. They go to the fashion show. Shout out to Kendu. The name of his line is Art for Play. The theme of this fashion show was called Playhouse. He had his homeboy emceeing and opening up. I know his homeboy, the 6'7" guy with the glasses. Cool guy. Who was that at the 29-minute mark that was walking down the runway with the bubble butt? I was here for it, just as a man. And I'm here for it. Shout out to Kendu. Don't cry, Kendu. Oh, him gave a speech. Oh, Kendu got a fat little baby face. Hey, Kendu. Hey, TT baby. Hey, TT baby. Hey, TT baby. But anyways, Kendu, good job. God bless you. And you have my homeboy Ty modeling for you in the background. Ty with the 6-pack and the braids. I'm here for it. Pura. Let's move on to episode 4. Again, guys, please make sure you are liking this video, sharing this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, become a member, and make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media in the description of this video. So episode 4 opens up with Wooda and Tonio meeting up, okay? This is the sit down we've been waiting on. Wooda has to address this girl. Wooda wants to know what it is and what it ain't. Why did you record the Grand Dame? Why did you record the Grand Dame? Okay, that's Wooda's stance. And he just wants to know, why did you record me? Wooda is explaining his side to Antonio on why he's so upset. And Antonio is pretty much paying the dust. He's being funny, like, well, can I use my phone? Like, it's okay if I pull up my messages, or, I'm not recording you. I just want to be clear, So Antonio was pretty much playing in Wooda's face in this moment. Antonio reads the messages, and he's reading them with a sarcastic tone, and it literally pissed Wooda off. Like, you see Wooda take his phone back, like, look, I'm not playing with you, dreadhead. I have questions that need answers. My name is Wooda Lee. I'm thick as hell, and I have questions. Okay, that's Wooda's standpoint. And I'm gagging because I've never seen Wooda like turned up like this. Like, I mean, I think I remember him like expressing his opinion at the Chasing Dallas season 1 reunion. But to see Wooda like really like feeling a certain type of way, I'm gagging. And I'm like, oh, Miss Wooda Lee, I didn't know you had this in you. So Wooda wants to know, like, Antonio, why did you record the combo? And according to Antonio, he's not the one who was doing the recording, but he and Wooda both got recorded by someone that they were with. And who is that someone? I told y'all, it always comes back. I don't miss a thing. I'm very witty. I'm very analytical. I'm a Virgo. I understand, okay? I understand. So who's the person or people y'all were with that recorded both of y'all, Antonio? The plot thickens. And Antonio said, I'm not going to let Wooda know that. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. And I feel like, why not? Why not just clear your name? And then, Antonio, why are you joking about recording people if you didn't? Like Wooda said, like, do you not care? Or you, like, what is it? And honestly, it's giving that Antonio really doesn't care. Wooda storms off. Markel, cut it. Markel, cut it. Speaking of Markel, they said the Chasing Dallas season 4 girls are fighting, and there's a lack of class amongst the cast. And I heard Ariel wasn't back. But I did hear who was coming back, and I'm bored already. Next scene, Kendu goes to see Eric. Cute apartment, Eric. Very well decorated. It looks like it smells good. They discuss the trip, the entanglements, etc. Apparently, like we all have figured out, like I just stated, Zell has been talking to both of the girls, Tonio and Eric. According to Zell, he only wanted to get to know Eric as a friend. Again, Eric took it as something else. So we just need to be careful on when we talk to people, how we get to know people, how we vibe with people, and how we do all that, because this situation could have easily been avoided. But see, this is my whole thing. Like, I done chilled with like a shorty or whatever, and like done rubbed up on the butt, like vibing, chilling, and like we didn't have no SCX, and like they didn't want to, but is that it's assault because you like vibing and you feeling you feeling the vibes? Maybe Eric felt comfortable enough to kiss you. And I ain't gonna cap. Zell does give sneaky tease. Zell does give sneaky tease. Kendu is gagging just like the rest of us. Eric, I have to compliment you in this scene. You look good. Your skin looks good. Your arms look big and buff. We all know the butt is huge. Whitney arrives. It's good to see Whitney and Eric getting along, because y'all little beef was so annoying and so like unnecessary. So I'm here for it. Whitney, you're looking slim in the neck in your confessional. They get to talking about, just everything that's been going on and the fashion show. And Tonio said that, Whitney said that Tonio was given very much North Louisiana when they went to the fashion show, just like that's my sister and country fish down, and not really used to anything. And I'm gagging, because we all know the Streetport girls are a little extra. I mean, look at Georgina. They discuss more about Azale and hashtag AbuseGate and JRs, and Eric is just pretty much confused. Like, we've been talking every day. Like, why would you feel comfortable to mush me? But like Kenzel said, why would you feel comfortable to try to kiss me? Like, what was y'all talking about? What was the vibes given? Because again, I have to go back to the flashback because it wasn't filmed. I have to go back to the flashback. It looked like the girls were in love. It looked like the girls were on one accord. It looks like the girls were, tight knit. So I don't know. I don't know. But Zell must have to have been very uncomfortable to mush him because, I mean, we got Zell giving Tonio flowers on one hand and we got him with the other hand mushing Eric. So it's a lot going on. And y'all need to get it together and clean it up and get to the bottom of it. What was the vibes giving at that exact moment when Eric reached in for the kiss? What was the conversation? Where was Kenzel's head? Kenzel said he made him look up. What I need a timeline. I think I'm missing the timeline. And that's just what I need. Tonio and Zell meet up to discuss everything that has happened since, the ride down to Austin, because apparently they got into it on the ride there. They got into it at the fashion show and then after the fashion show. So there was a lot of, hooping and hollering and carrying on going on. And Tonio was calling Eric a creature. So it's like this shade has completely come out of nowhere. And Tonio, do you feel away because Zell is your man and this girl's trying to take your man? Like it's given very much. I know how the female be mad at the side piece because her man stepped out to the side piece. So now you got to shade the side piece when you should be getting your man together. However, I do feel like Tonio was getting Zell together. Like, well, what is this? Because you was doing this for me, and you was taking me her, and yada yada yada, and yada yada yada. And why do Tonio and Eric keep shading each other about being comfortable with getting attacked by their partners? Is there some tea there? What is that? What is that? Zell also said that Tonio was taking things too fast. And at some point in this scene, I said, is this the We Do for Love by Kevon Burns online or not? Is this the crew or is this the We Do for Love? Zell pretty much explains in detail what happened with Eric, as far as Eric telling him to look up, and then next thing we see, Eric kissed him allegedly. Okay. Now we get to some other tea. We get to some other tea. Who's doing butt shots in the alleyway? Who's giving butt shots in the alleyway? Child, that's what Zell said about Eric. I said, oh. Now, where does Zell get that tea from? So Wooda and Zell, they link up to discuss Tonio, Eric, the recording, and everything. I'm overhearing about this recording. At this point, it's given very much, is Tonio going to be the one that Wooda knocks upside the head that we saw in the trailer? I do love when Wooda told his friend, like, look, as my friend, you can be naturally flirty. Like, bitch, I know you. I know you as my friend. I know you can be flirty and it's naturally. So you just need to set those boundaries early on. This is what it is and this is what it ain't, because you are a naturally flirty person. Not Whitney is hosting another gathering that Wooda is inviting Zell to. It's a meeting of the minds. It's a ponderosa that they want all of the girls to come to. At the meeting of the minds, the next scene, Zell, I love that brown with the blue LA hat. That was really cute. Like, I love the color blocking. Eric walks in. The girls say Eric walks in on 10, but as a viewer, it seemed like Eric walked in with the same energy he always walks in. Chocolate. You know, dick in the hips. Whitewashed. So I feel like Eric walked in with the same energy I've always seen him walk in on whatever show he was on. So the girls just kept saying, "Oh, Eric walked in with this type of aggression, and Eric walked in with this, that, and the third, and Eric." So I'm gagging. Um, so Eric is like, well, let's do a toast before we start talking about the tea. Before we get into things, let's do a toast. And while we're at it, Zell, I heard that you haven't been around the group because you're struggling financially, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, huh? Why are we bringing up the finances? Where did this come from? Like, clearly Eric is pressed and bothered because Zell mushed him, and then Zell is going around talking about it. And what I think Eric is truly upset about is the allegation of assault. And maybe you, Eric, do feel some type of way that you shot your shot and maybe you got shot down. So I feel like it's all of those emotions coming to a head because next thing we know, Zell tells Eric, well, didn't you get your butt done in the alleyway? I said, okay, Zell, because I didn't know Zell had it in him to, throw shade and face to face, or because he gives me very much like a confessional girl. So when Zell said that, baby, I gagged. Next thing we know, Eric picks up a pillow and I said, "Child." And that was the end of episode 4. So please, guys, I'm looking forward to episode 5. The season has definitely taken a turn for the worse. It's entertaining. And I don't think there's ever been a web series show where somebody talked about it's assault or these type of allegations. So I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see what's gonna give. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I love you guys down. Please make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and share the video. Follow me on all of my social media in the description. Subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, and remember, at the end of the day, shawty, at the end of the day, little baby, all you got is yourself. Okay, so love yourself. Okay, on me.